Hey beautiful people, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. For today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions thoughts on the Natasha Denona Dramatic palette. Now this is a part of two new palettes that Natasha Denona has released. Both of them really neutral, both of them absolutely beautiful. Now I only picked up one out of the two because as you can see from the photos, the first one, which is the soft palette, is actually really light in terms of the shades that are included and just not suitable for my skin tone. The second one, the one that I grabbed, Dramatic, she actually said that she created this specifically for darker complexions. And as you all know, I have been living in that neutral vein as of late, so this absolutely caught my eye and I had to come and give you guys my thoughts on it and how it performs on my skin tone. So per usual, you'll get some product details, some swatches on my complexion. I do all of my swatches sort of in natural light, but I also do some indoor swatches where I'll put it under a flashlight so you guys can see how it sparkles. And then lastly, I'll be doing two looks with this palette, and then I'll come back at the end, give you guys my final thoughts, and would love to hear anything you guys have to add. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. So like I said, we have the Natasha Denona Dramatic palette. Now this palette, it comes in this beautiful white packaging. This is like a white lacquered packaging. It is a palette in which pans are removable and magnetic. So you'll see the holes at the back of the palette here. Now when you open this baby up, you get 18 beautiful shades, 12 of which are matte, 6 of which are shimmers. And within the mattes, you do have some of her, well, you do have his standard regular powder matte as well as a creamy matte formula. And within the shimmers, you have some really good high shine, high sparkle shimmers, but also some that lean a little bit more satin. Some additional product details. This was made in Italy and it does have a 24-month shelf life, which is not bad, actually. It's actually really, really good. I don't see anything about it being cruelty free on here, so that's all I have for you guys. Now, lastly, this does retail for $82. So she's not cheap. She is not cheap. And as you can tell, it is more expensive than her traditional 15-pan eyeshadows. So you are getting, what, 3 more shades? I think her traditional eyeshadows are $69, unless they've gone up in price. So you are getting 3 more shades, and this will retail for $82. Now, that being said, since this has released, it has been on sale several times. And not necessarily on sale, but we are getting into that sale season. So I have been seeing a number of retailers have massive sale, whether it's Nordstrom, Macy's, and their 15% off sale. I was able to get this, I believe, for 20% off. I can't remember where. Oh, during the Sephora Friends and Family sale. That's where I picked mine up. I was able to get it for 20% off during the Sephora Friends and Family sale. The Sephora VIB sale is actually coming up pretty soon because we are into fall. So if you are a VIB member, Rouge, I believe that's the tier, you would be able to get this at 20% off. If you are shopping from her website directly, a lot of creators have codes with the brand, so you should be able to get it for 15% off. And I know there is one retailer that did have it for 30% off, and I posted it on my community tab. So whenever I find a super sale that I think it's actually worth it for you guys, I make sure to post it in my community tab. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you have the bell on. That way you don't, it's not only that you don't miss out on the videos that I post, but you don't miss out on sales. And if you didn't know, you can follow me on Instagram as well, because I will also share really massive sales there. I try not to share everything that goes on sale, because personally, for me, 15% off is nothing. But if I see something that's 30, 40, 50% off or higher, I will make sure to post it for you guys, because I do think that those discounts actually make it worth it. And with that 30% off, it actually brought it down to like $50 something. So it was a pretty steep amount of savings. So if I catch it again, I'll make sure to let you guys know about it. Anyways, that's it. That's enough yapping for me. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these swatches. Let's dive into the demos, and then I'll come back and give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, let's just dive right in. We're gonna go in with R1. It's the shade right here. I'm gonna take that, putting it right in the crease as my transition shade.
We drink juice from the sweetest berries and dance the night away. Count stars in the sky while the clouds roll by.
That is really nice and soft.
Hold hands when we need protection. Break bones, but we always plan them. Every heartbreak is.
Next, I'm gonna go into Y3. I'm really trying to keep this like super neutral.
Kiss my tears with music.
lastly, taking that same brush, I'm going to go into N3. We're, of course, going to plop that right into the outer corner.
Fill suitcases up and fly across the seas. Not a thing belongs to us, even the air we breathe.
Okay, for the shimmers, I'm actually going to go into 2 shades. I'm going to start by going into N2, and then I'm going to end by going into W2. So taking N2 and W2. Starting here. Oh, that is so pretty.
It's my tears with music. Yeah. Find my love, don't lose it. Lay in the dark, but I'm always blue. Hey, lay in the dark.
Okay, so this is the framework, you know the drill. Let's go clean this up and I'll come back and show you guys the final look.
Find my love, don't lose it. Yeah. Find my love, don't you lose it. Kiss my
Okay, so let's jump in with look number 2. I'm going to start by going into P1. And I'm trying to remember what I did for the first look. I genuinely don't. So, or at least the shimmers that I used. This is pretty. Now this is supposed to be the peach, but it's actually just kind of warm. It's supposed to have a peach undertone. This is how we do it. Next, I want to go into P3, and I specifically want to try this one because it is one of her signature cream to powder shades, which I feel like I've had some love-hate relationship with. I think it has been improving steadily over the years. Initially, when she came out with this cream to powder formula, it was very much at least for deeper complexions, not good. And I say that because for the most part, what happens is the shade looks a lot deeper, a lot richer in the pan. But once it got onto the eyes, it was so light, most of the pigment would just sort of like fade away. So the shade in the pan didn't translate on the eyes. So I had a little bit of issues with that. But I will say over the years, it has gotten much better. Like this is actually pretty true in color. Okay, Tasha. I like. Okay, and I think lastly for my deepening shade, I'm gonna go into N1. And you know the drill, let's just plop that into the outer corner, blending it inward. Okay, now I'm gonna start with R2. Oh, that is so pretty. It is definitely more of a reddish shade, and I don't remember us going into Y2. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna have to use this one. Okay, so we're gonna take R2. Oh, that's super pretty. Also, much more satin-like. That would be such a good one and done all over the eye. And like a true one and done because of how satin this formula is. I could actually put this in and blend out the edges and it would look like I have both a shimmer and a matte on the eye. Which is kind of cool. Okay. And then taking that Y1 shade that in. Sorry, Y2 I should say. And that is definitely adding some lightness, some brightness back to this look. I think P2, the peach shimmer, would actually have looked really good with this as well. But I couldn't remember if I'd used it or not already. Okay, this is the framework. Let me go ahead and clean this up and I'll come back and show you guys the final look. Okay, I'm back and this is the final look. I really like this. This is a really nice warm look. Now let me just quickly say that I did make one change from what you guys saw me applying. I actually decided to go into P2 and I put that kind of in between Y2 and R2 because I felt like the difference between the lightest shade and the darker shade shimmer was just a little too stark, so I needed something to combine the two. So this is actually 3 shimmers blending into one to create this nice gradient, and I think that this works so much better. Okay, so let me quickly wrap this up and give you guys my thoughts. You can probably tell I love this. I've only used this twice so far, so there's still a lot of opportunities here for me to continue to use this palette, but I want to say that Tasha really did it for the girls. She did it for us, like deeper complected girls, and I'm so happy about this. Now, I did watch the release video on Instagram, not TikTok, because I don't have a TikTok. I don't even know why TikTok came to mind. But there was a little bit of a release video on Instagram, and what she said was that this was specifically created for people with darker complexions. So you'll see that what other people would consider mid-toned or, yeah, I guess mid-toned shades or deepening up shades, those are like the transition shades for us. So I really appreciate that every single shade in this palette is usable. I think the only one that I would like not really be able to use is this shade right here, Y1, but that actually could be a blend out shades for some of the other ones if they are too deep. But outside of that, every single shade in here is completely usable. I was really impressed by P3, which is that cream to powder matte. I think this is the only one that has this really unique creamy matte formula. So good in terms of one, the pigment stayed, it lasted, it still had that punch. Like I mentioned when I was applying it, sometimes when it comes to a cream to powder formula, it can fade away or it doesn't have the same level of depth in the pan as it does on the eyes. It doesn't really translate. But I thought this looked so good. It applied really well, it blended really well, it didn't cause any issue mixing with like a straight up matte. So such a good formulation, 100%, so happy with it. Okay, outside of that, the rest of the mattes, standard mattes, those blended really well. I had no issues with it. Great pigment, great blendability. Good Natasha Denona quality. Like she does a good matte. In terms of the shimmer formulation, really nice. I will say that there are kind of like 2 formulas here. The more sparkly, and you can kind of see it in how chunky it shows up in the pan. So the sparklier options, and then you have the like satin shades, which are the 2 kind of like dark options. I do appreciate those. I do think that those are going to be really nice from a perspective of a nice one and done. Or if you don't want something as bold as this, like I do realize that this is giving a little glam. But if you wanted it to be like just soft, those 2 kind of satiny shimmers, you can just apply them all over the lid. That's a good one and done. And like I said, these have the option at the, not option, but the formulation in this allows this to be applied as a satin or a shimmer on the lids and blended out to be a matte, which I've only ever really been able to truly do with like Pat McGrath and her sort of satin shades. So very happy with this. I do like how compact and travel friendly this is as well. You can pop this out, use additional, or you know, mix and match, add whatever shades you want in this. So very happy with this. Am I going to be picking up the other one? No. 1, it's too light for me and for my complexion. And 2, I think this is everything that I need. And I think it's everything that someone with a darker complexion would need if you are a lover of neutrals, if you like living in that neutral family. But that's it, guys. Those are all my thoughts on the Natasha Denona eyeshadow texture and tone, that's not what it's called, Natasha Denona eye sculpt texture and tone palette. Again, this is in the shade Dramatic. So let me know if you guys pick this up, what your thoughts are on it, and if you want to see me do additional looks, let me know all that in the comments below. If you don't know what to comment, of course, go ahead and leave an orange heart. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.